Hey there everybody, good evening from Mackinac Island. Just got done with a huge, incredible work day with my team here on the island, and on the way home thought it'd be fun to show you a quick tour through my grandma's house. My grandma's gardens are really one of a kind. It's a really special location here on the island, and starting with this beautiful, iconic little gazebo arbor gate entry into the property, which is planted with two climbing hydrangeas on either side of the arbor. They're each about 36 years old, and one on each side. And in the summertime, this is just an incredible white cloud of blooms. This is Moonbeam climbing hydrangea. You can see some birds' nests in there, maybe from last summer, but just look at the gnarly old twisty vines on this thing. It's really an impressive, well, two impressive plants here. So come on in and I'll show you through the garden here. We'll head this way first. This is called Boardwalk Cottage. And there's some really unique specimen plants throughout these gardens that really steal the show. Like I said, the climbing hydrangeas, let me just show you these really cool roots. You can see where the base of this thing is planted. Again, about 36 years old, and just becoming the entry arbor. There's hardly any of the cedar shake roof really left, but the hydrangea has just become the roof and the structure. It's really pretty amazing. But then our next real specimen here is this grafted Palibin Lilac. I love to do a lot of this trimming and everything myself here at this property because it's my grandma and I love her dearly. And I like to take care of these. I've been taking care of so many of these plants since I was very young, including this Palibin here. And like I said, it is grafted, so it's up on this stem. I think it's a black cherry tree that it's grafted onto. And you can see we've thinned out and laced out the inside of it. So it's got this incredibly cool architectural, wild structure inside. So when you're in that room looking out, you look into this kind of like dense canopy of this Palibin lilac tree. And this thing, you know, it's just starting to bud out because we're pretty early spring here still on the island. But in another, probably month or so, this will be covered in really fragrant light purple blooms of that Palibin lilac. We have some really nice, beautiful peonies coming up here. Look at them, like that incredible color of that vibrant growth. And these peonies grow just amazing in the spring. This was probably 6 inches shorter just yesterday. So already this needs to have some support and some hoops on it so that this doesn't flop out into the pathway here. But this little arbor here will support a clematis that goes up over the fence. Some cool hydrangeas and stuff, lots and lots of herbaceous perennials and stuff through here, some old classics. But this pair of Espalier Crabapples are also a real treat that I like to personally do all the pruning on every year. And this looks like it made it through the winter really beautifully. It's got a ton of really vibrant new growth. It's getting ready to bloom out this spring. Again, probably 2 to 3 weeks out from bloom on this guy, but I love the way this has been trained and worked with for just over 30 years. So a pair of them on either corner of the house right here, which is really cool. And then right behind me, another real specimen here. This is a Camperdown Elm, and this is a tricky tree because it does get elm leaf borer, elm leaf miner rather. So we do have to treat this thing every year. But again, another grafted, really gnarly old, beautiful specimen tree, and it canopies down and makes this really neat little space under here. So right now we've got all this awesome scilla and blooming spring bulbs that look really, really pretty. But as soon as this leaves out, this gets really quite shady, and then some big, bold, beautiful, big blue angel hostas come up, and this whole entire bank is these really big, thick-leaved hostas that cover all this up. So even as this foliage from these bulbs fades, they get covered right up with those hostas, and we don't have to do a thing. So I love that successional planting. There's a lot of that in this garden. You can see some of my favorite little ground cover here. Sweet Woodruff is coming up. That'll flower white and be a really nice little blanket of sweet woodruff through here that'll flower well after these are spent and gone, and then the hostels will cover those right up. So heading back to the back side of the house here, we are right on the water. This is Lake Huron, and the lake, as you can see, is really, really high this year and has been high for a couple of years. So in big storms, we're getting waves splashing up. As you can, I just got a little bit wet there. Waves splashing up and really soaking the lawn. We hardly need irrigation on at all. But we used to, when the water was much lower, we used to have beautiful garden beds here right along the rocks, and had all kinds of planting space to work with. And you can see an old daylily right here is like totally washed down and about to just disappear. This is an old rugosa rose that is not really liking its new environment, and several of them unfortunately have died. But we're probably going to have to rip all this plant material out along here and do a little bit of additional seawall work, maybe put some new real large boulders in here, just to beef this up and make sure that it's well protected for the years to come. This is an old limelight hydrangea that used to be planted. Again, this used to be this big, beautiful bed. There was so much soil and everything here. It's just crazy that the lake has come up and these waves have just eaten that all away. When I was a kid, I used to climb down these rocks and walk out probably, 20 yards, 30 yards to swim and jump off of these boulders and stuff that are now, completely buried in the lake out there. Pretty wild. This is a red osier dogwood that really is just kind of a sucker that grew up here. It's amazing that this is surviving, and all these plants really are surviving. I don't think they're very happy at all anymore. But so, like I said, I've got to get the crew in here to get this all cleared out, get some new large boulders in here, and think of a new look, because a garden isn't really working anymore along the water because of the high water. But as you can see behind me, the Mackinac Bridge. For those of you not from around here, the Mackinac Bridge connects the lower peninsula of Michigan to the upper peninsula of Michigan. Mackinac Island is considered part of the upper peninsula. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to come and visit. If you are new to watching our videos, please do subscribe, click the bell. We'll be filming a lot of beautiful videos here on Mackinac Island, and we'll show you all kinds of stunning gardens. Thanks for joining me here, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Okay, so before you guys go, I have to show you one more really, really impressive specimen planting here at Grandma's house. This is a Columnar Beech, and this is a really big, beautiful Columnar Beech in a perfect location. Right plant, right place sort of situation. You can see that really impressive columnar growth habit, and those like twisty, twirly, gnarly branches as it goes up. This thing leafs out beautifully all summer long, and it's been really, really healthy here. I am noticing that I've got to get up and do a little bit of pruning, get a little bit of dead out of there and clean it up just a bit. But it really has been a really great tree, very, very low maintenance and easy. And you'll see here all these gorgeous spring blooms. We are still, like I said, in our early spring season here in the garden, but this will be coming up and covered completely with these hostas that are sleeping still, just little nubs coming up there, but there's a whole bunch of those big, beautiful hostas that'll come up and cover this whole entire bank, and we really won't have to do anything but just let it happen. But anyway, now I am going to say goodbye. See you in the next video. Cheers.